should interview him.
This is the GOAT right here.
No, shut up.
I'm going to interview both of you guys.
You guys go.
Chance you either play Cinderella St. Peter's or your rival and you get another shot at North Carolina. Paolo, which one do you want?
You're not going to get me this time. But I'm just proud of my team. You know, we've been working since June for this. And it's really surreal that we're here right now, on our way to New Orleans for the Final Four. This is a dream come true, man.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Simon. Happy birthday to you.
Blow it out. Go. Okay.
What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So yes, Duke did advance to the Final Four. It's pretty awesome. Did have them losing 2 games ago, but definitely glad it's working out like this. They did beat Arkansas, who's a pretty good team, 78-69. Wasn't as close as that throughout the last part of the game, but Arkansas made a little bit of a run. Then, of course, ended up after yesterday finding out that they get to play North Carolina in the Final Four, which is surprisingly never happened before in the tournament, even though these 2 teams have always been in many Final Fours and Elite Eights and all that stuff. They never played each other, which is pretty crazy. But yes, it'll be the first time this weekend coming up. And I believe it's Coach K's 13th Final Four overall in his career. So he was recently tied with John Wooden, the great UCLA coach, but now he officially passed them for Final Four appearances, so that's pretty cool. That makes sense, so I'm gonna just cut that off. And then yes, so we'll see how Duke does. Good luck to them. I know it's asking a lot to beat your rival in the Final Four, and then you'll get either Kansas or Villanova, who've been playing pretty well all throughout the season. So we'll see how this goes. It's just gonna be another tough test for Duke, but hoping for the best. Then Ronald Jones II of USC and also recently of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has decided to sign with the Kansas City Chiefs. So of course I'm gonna have to see him for at least the next year. Going up against him sucks, but you know, good luck to him, I guess. Then LeBron James, I guess you could say sadly, has won the Razzie for the the worst actor of the year in a movie, according to his Space Jam new Legacy movie. So he won that great award from the Razzie Awards, which always sucks, but you know, it's 50% not a great movie, but I mean, it is pretty bad, I guess. Then when it comes to a lot of these Chargers players, trying to figure out which of them have signed and not signed yet. So of course, if you remember, we brought back Christian Covington, so he's back onto the team. Justin Jones, the defensive tackle, did go to the Bears. Then Kaiser White recently signed with the Eagles for 1 year, so good luck to him. Then Kyler Fackrell went to, of course, the Raiders, so no good luck to him. Uchenna Nwosu, if you remember, went to Seattle up there with Pete Carroll. Chase Daniel, the quarterback, returned to the team. Then Dustin Hopkins, the kicker, as well, returned, and Mike Williams, you remember, signed that 3-year deal at the beginning of all this madness and stuff of free agency. So yes, a little bit of where these guys are headed or at right now. There's still a whole bunch of guys that were on the team that are still free agents from the Chargers, so we'll see where they end up going next couple of weeks, I guess. Then a crystal ball. It's kind of like what this website does. They kind of project and kind of determine where a kid is going to end up choosing coming out of high school. And apparently, if you remember, we talked about Josh Connerly Jr., one of the top offensive linemen who for some reason has not committed to a school yet, even though he will be playing this fall as a freshman. And he's taking his time, but apparently after his recent visit with USC, I think it was just like last weekend, was pretty good because he's now been crystal balled to USC, and I believe he is going to be choosing around April 8th. So a little over a week, we'll be finding out where he is going officially, and hopefully, as they are correct, it is USC. It'll be a big time get for them, and we're definitely very excited for that outcome. Then we found out a little bit of news about USC basketball team that was a bit positive, that Boogie Ellis, the transfer point guard, and Drew Peterson, who's been a transfer there for a couple years, will be returning to the team for next season. That's pretty good to have a couple of guys who've been around, a couple veterans back on the team to mix in with a lot of the new bloods that's coming in, so that's cool. Then we also have this like weird Twitter thing that someone put out there that of like the last 10 teams to beat USC while they have been in the tournament. They've gone on to do some pretty great things. I mean, one time, one team they lost to became a champion. Twice, that team became runner-ups to be a champion, so they were just in the championship game. Another team was in the Final Four. It's crazy. Two other teams were in the Elite Eight, including the team that beat them this year, Miami, who lost to Kansas the other day, so that was pretty good. And then, one Sweet 16 appearance for another team, and then, of course, 3 round of 32 teams. So whoever has beaten USC, I guess it's kind of good luck because you do get pretty far into the tournament as of late. So hopefully that USC can finally get over the hump and get that far in the tournament for themselves, but we'll see. They have a pretty interesting team coming up this year. Then De'Anthony Melton, I always forget he is considered a USC player, even though he never really got to play for them because he had this whole investigation and all this other stuff surrounding him. So I don't believe he got to play maybe a game or two for USC, but he has been playing pretty well since he got traded to Memphis as a backup point guard, and especially over this last couple week or so where Ja Morant, their star, has been out at his position. He's kind of gone off. He went 24 one game, 19 points the next, 23 the next game, and then most recently 16 points as well, while shooting a very high percentage from the three-point line in all those games. So it's pretty cool that he's been getting this momentum going into the playoffs, and it's just going to make the Memphis Grizzlies an even more dangerous team once they get there. So they're definitely on the come up because they've got a lot of good players that I've liked, and yeah, they put together a really good team in my opinion. And yes, USC basketball, I believe there's 2 guys that they recently talked about on Bleacher Report that I think USC should go after as well. A guy in Deshaun Davis, who was most recently with Oregon State, but I only know of him because he really did a number on USC. He always scored a lot of points on us for some reason, but the only way to get your enemies is to make them even less better, is to have them on your team so they could go against other guys. So I just think you have to get those good players who do good against you, and hopefully they start producing as well for your school. So to get a guy like that will be pretty cool. Also another guy from LSU, Xavier Pinson, who looks like a pretty thin guard, but I'm sure he's pretty fast. So he's another top talented guy who just entered the portal. So a couple guys to look at to maybe see if they end up on the USC Trojans roster. I almost said the Lakers roster, but yes, USC's roster in the next summer or so. So hoping for the best. And yes, thanks for watching, people. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Fight on, and let's go Duke.